I'm going to go over a few stocks and a few ETFs on the daily time frame and show you the channel we are in. Thank you to Marat for pointing these out to me as well. The first one is Tslx, 6th Street Specialty Lending. We ended the week at $18.12, down 1.25%. To the north side from where we are takes us to 2 standard deviations, and that is roughly $19.73. Above that is roughly $20.85, and at 3 standard deviations, roughly $21.97. Back down to the middle of the trend, it takes us to roughly $17.48, and at negative 2 standard deviations, roughly $15.23. If we get to this line, I will anticipate a bounce as people buy the dip. That clearly happened right here. As you can see, there was a buy-in. People saw an opportunity, wrote it up here to resistance at this level, and then they sold off. When we are down here and we get to here, this is resistance, and this would be another level of resistance as well. But if we are up here and we are selling off, this turns into support and support, another level of support, and so on. I want to show you the RSI. We are at 41 and turning down, and the general direction right now seems to be going down. But there is upside according to the analysts. The 1-year price target, $20.75, which represents a 14% increase from where we are. And note, on a different time frame, you can see this on the 5-minute time frame, there is a gap from 1876 to about 1907. The next one I'm going to go over is Arcc. We ended the week at $18.02, down more than 0.5%. To the north side from where we are takes us back to the middle of the trend, and that is $18.31. Above that, 2011, $21, and at 4 standard deviations, roughly $21.90. To the south side at negative 2 standard deviations would take us down to roughly $16.56. Note the 1-year price target on TradingView at $20.44, which represents a 13% increase from where we are. And according to the analysts, it is considered a strong buy. The RSI is nearing 30. Right now we are at 33. And note the clear bounce here at support and support as people buy the dip and sell the rip up here. The next one is Schg. We ended the week at $73.39. And as you can see, we are at resistance. I do anticipate a sell-off before we perhaps make another leg up. There will be consolidation. Now, to the north side, though, from where we are, if you believe this is going to be going up, would take us to roughly $77.86. And above that, $82.33. And note over here, we reached as high as roughly $84.07. So a lot of potential there. Now, to the downside, because there is always a downside, you can play the moves down and obviously the moves up. Now, to the middle of the trend takes us to roughly $64.23 and $55.23. To the south side, the RSI is at 63 and selling off. Anytime we hit this level, I do anticipate a pull back as well, and perhaps a leg up at some other point, but there will be consolidation. Now, if we get down to here, down here, I will anticipate a buyback, a buy-in as people buy the dip when the stock is oversold. And right now we are overbought. And the next one is Splg. We ended the week at $50.95. To the north side takes us to roughly 52.08. If we get to this line and this line and this line, I do anticipate a sell-off, but there's some room before we get to two standard deviations. 3 standard deviations is roughly 54.24, 56.37. To the south side, middle of the trend, 47.83, 43, let's say 57, and to the south side of that, 41.52. Over here, we reached roughly 56.56. And note along this line, and this line, we start to crater as people take their profits and they run, but there was a bounce. Now, as we're going down, this would then turn into support, and then it bounced, and this becomes resistance, and then we do it all over again. But right here is a clear buy-in at support. Now, I'm going to quickly go over this on the 5-minute time frame and show you the levels, that we are in right now. Let's start with Tslx. To the north side takes us to $18.22, 18.39, 18.48, and 18.56, 18.05, 17.97, and roughly 17.89. This would be the channel we are in for Monday. The daily time frame is more of a big picture time frame, and so that will take a while to get to those projections, but this is the 5-minute time frame, so things move much faster. All right, to the north side, we're very close to the middle of the trend, 18.03. No reason we can't get there. 18.19, 18.26, 18.34 roughly, and to the south side, 17.88, 17.80, 17.72. Schg, let's just take it to 2 standard deviations, 73.95, 74.22, 74.49. And then note right here, we could not hit this resistance line and the stock sold off, and there was a gap to the upside. That will fill out at roughly 73.86, very close to 2 standard deviations. Now to the south side, 72.85, 72.58, and roughly 72.31. And finally, Splg to the north side takes us to roughly 50.99, back to the middle of the trend. 51.19, note the gap that closes out at roughly 51.27. 3 standard deviations, roughly 51.30, 51.40, and 50.79, 50.69, and roughly 50.59. The RSI is turning down on this right here. We are at 40. If we hit 30, I will definitely anticipate a bounce. All right, that does it for me. If there is a stock that you would like me to go over or an ETF, please let me know.